Yeah, BS Discover. Excuse me. I'm in a conference call right now, but I want to bring you in to this, so I'm making a live video because it's very important. And as I instruct this person on a survival method from my experience, I'm also going to give this person further details because they have children and how to make sure their children survive. Now, stay with me. Well, first, I want to say that clearly what you survived mattered, and your insight is real wisdom, earned at a high cost. You're not chosen because of the abuse. You are chosen because you learned how to see it, survive it, and stop it from owning your future. That distinction is important, especially for children and others who are still trying to understand what love is supposed to feel like. Now, just give me a second and let me try to explain to you what I mean, because you survived an ordeal and you have children, and I know you asked me, BS Discover, what can I do to make sure that my children survive? I see one that possibly could have went through, but I'm talking before they open that door. Well, let me tell you. Now, what you must understand, a bruise does not look like bruises all the time. Now, silence can be used as punishment. When somebody don't want to talk to you, don't want to answer your question, it could be a sign of punishment, a start of abuse. Children being burned into messengers or weapons, which means children could be used between the two parents as a messenger to cause the abuse to continue. Parents must be aware, so be aware. Feeling anxious, small, confused, instead of safe can be all signs of abuse. You're not feeling safe at all. You're anxious all the time. You're feeling belittled, small, and confused about what's going on. And I know this is why you left. Now, my question to you is, how can you survive this, having children and making sure, just in case, making sure they survive just in case, because there's no guarantee? Well, I think you need to teach them what love is and what love is not. Love does not humiliate you, making you feel like you're not nothing. How can they say they love you? Even in an audience of people, making you feel like you like nothing. And love does not use children to hurt the other parent. Love doesn't do that. And you must teach your children what love is. Are you understanding me? Don't feel bad because you made it through. Now the children are watching, and you need them to make it through because it's not over yet, between the two parents. So love does not make you feel guilty for having boundaries. I remember I discussed it. You remember when I told you that it's important that the other person understand that you want to surface in life. You want to do other things. And love do not punish you for that. No, you can't do this. No, you can't work. You can't work overtime. No, you can't work with this man alone at the job, because that's not love. Love is trusting, knowing your capabilities, knowing that you're growing and making light in the relationship. You must teach your children this. They must see this through your actions. You may go through the motions, but you have survived. You knew that what you was going through was not love at some point. And it can be possible to happen from relationship to the next relationship, only because each relationship is different. But over time, you and the children will understand. Now, children also think that love is endurance. Oh, it's going to take a while. Haven't you been there? I know you've been there. For them to understand that I love them, I got to hang in there. But sometimes hanging in there can cost you your life. And children need to understand that. Your reasons of confusion. I'm confused. I may go back. I may not stay when I go back because I quickly picked up. I've been in that situation. My husband promised me, oh, I'm going to start to do this. I'm going to do that. When I went back, he didn't do it. And I left. But it was his way of trying to beat the law. Because once you go back, whatever she said about him, it doesn't seem to be true. But yet what the Lord is learning now is the manipulation that others use when they know the Lord and how to use it. And this is part of the fight. This is part of the struggle. This is part of the realization of learning how to survive abuse. Why you are chosen. Why you were chosen. Why you're standing here. Why I'm here on the phone allowing you to hear a conversation, allowing you to hear me let this person know, listen, you've made it through. Your children are not looking at you strange. And I know you see the other one, they're headed down the same road, but you can give them advice. And you got to let them trust their body, how they feel, and their mind, their way of thinking. You listen, if your body feels tense because of sick surroundings, or even if you can't explain why, then listen to that. A lot of people, when they're in a relationship, they don't understand why they're feeling a certain way, why they can't get out of bed, because your body is letting you know. There's nothing else that's making you sick but what you're going through, and your body is tired of it. You got to catch up with your body. You got to catch up and put it together with the mind. A lot of people don't know this about abuse. And I've taken the time to research and to get feedback, but through my prompting and getting the right feedback, but I had to prompt the right information. And you're a dear friend, and I thank you for allowing me to share this with these people today. Because a lot of people don't know why chosen ones go through, because you're the one that's going to help the next person. You're not going to, they say, mind your business. Sometimes you don't need to mind your business. Sometimes it is your business because you have purpose in that. Don't you hear a lot of people say, mind your business? And they're going to take you through because they don't love, they don't care, they don't know how to love. So if I don't love because I've never been shown love, or think love is just loving what I can love, then out of the norm of love, that's mean when you're made for purpose and reason. And the reasoning begin to make sense when you can begin to expose the purpose. So don't worry when people say don't, or why are you all in the conversation? Why are you all in the business? Why don't you mind your business? Because it was my body and my mind was letting me know what I went through, this individual is going through. And I can give this person the right advice, or if I'm in a relationship, I'm going to know how to come out of it. I'm going to know how to question what's going on. As long as there's nothing that hinder me, like being in a car accident, losing memory, or something like that, it's going to take a little longer. Do you understand? And then I have to question why the car accidents? Why the memory loss? Was it part of the abuse? So don't worry about what people say. Pay attention to your mind and your body. It's telling you that for a reason. Somebody needs help. You're chosen to help. Do you understand? So you survive situations where your mind blacked it out. Your memory was affected. You couldn't fully see what was happening in the moment. That teaches a powerful truth. And that is my story. Are you hearing what I'm saying? See how we could relate by me not minding my business to show you what it means? Not being shameful of being chosen through certain situations to tell somebody else so people can pick up and listen. Yes, it's your business. It's the community business to help the community and to help the children. Trauma confuses the brain, but the body still knows. Do you understand? Many children believe it's not bad enough yet. It's not bad. We'll be all right. But my stories prove you don't have to wait for abuse. You don't have to wait for bruises to happen. You don't have to wait for punishment. You don't have to fully understand why knowing something is wrong is enough. Something's wrong. I got to remove myself out of the situation. Leaving early is wisdom. And you remember me telling you that, how this person wanted to pay me to stay, pay me money to stay, but would not take me to a doctor's appointment. Knowing I had anxiety, I could not ride there. That's how bad it was at the time. But you was willing to pay me to stay. What was the purpose of paying me to stay in a relationship where there was no help? So leaving early was the wisdom for this chosen one, that I'm able to have a moment with y'all as I explain to this person that surviving was a strong point and leaving was a strong point, even to give experience. So how could the abusers use love against you? Well, this is critical of children which love both parents. There was a situation, I went to court in New York, and one of my sons was like, I can't choose between you and dad. That was a situation. Because he couldn't choose. He didn't follow the body and the mind, his mind. That's how abusers can use love against you. Or you can teach your children that abusers really on love, loyalty, and guilt. They often rely on love, loyalty, and guilt. And that is really true. Abusers often really rely on love, loyalty, and guilt. I'm going to rely that you love me. I'm going to rely that you are loyal to me. And I'm going to rely that you're going to feel guilty if you turn against me. That's how abusers use it. They may appear calm, distance, or things may not seem that bad anymore. They'll stop doing what they're doing for a moment, just for a moment. But it will resurface. It will show up. You believe me. I see you live here. And I see you. And hold your head up high. You know what? They may even turn children into emotional shields. Emotional shields. And a lot of parents do that. They utilize their children as an emotional shield. They're feeling emotional. They're feeling torn apart. Why the abuse is between the two parents, but the children are in the middle. And their lives can't change. So they're learning to accept abuse, that one day they may even go through it themselves. That is a true form. I tell you, and I'm going to give you this advice. If you ever go to court, one thing I learned that somebody in court told me when I took my husband to court. And I want you to hear. They told me, never have your children in the system because they'll get lost in the system. So try to work it out. Try to get counseling. If you're strong parents, it's not worth the fight because emotionally, the whole family will be torn apart. It's a confusing period for everyone involved. It's not just about you. You don't know what made the husband react the way he react. Sometimes it's generational curses. And I have a loving heart enough to understand that. A lot of people don't have a loving heart to understand why they can't forgive the other person still in distance, whether they smile at you or not. So it's important that you understand that this message is real. It's a message that I've been wanting to give, but everything happens in a reason and over time. And right now, somebody really needs to hear it. Maybe someone going through. Maybe someone who understands why some of us can't mind our own business. That's why we do certain YouTube things talking about what we go through. You think we talking our business, we're talking because somebody else went through, but nobody's relating the message of how to survive or how they can see signs to survive. Do you understand? Now, what you need to know, that someone can be far away physically and still control you emotionally. Listen, far away, but emotionally, they still have control over you. And that's more so possible. So people never understand why me and one of my sons had a distance relationship, because that's where it was emotionally. He was tied between the two. So I had to let go and bring him back. And let go maybe for long periods of time. Because he was going through his emotion. But I understood. But I'm not going to let him go forever. When he's ready to come back, you love from a distance. Because emotionally, you don't know what they're going through. You don't know where the abuse took them in your relationship as parents. And you want to teach them to be ready for a setup, generational curses. And I want to thank you again today for allowing me to be on video and share this information, because I was trying to address the situation. Let me cut the light on. There we go. I wanted to address the situation, but didn't know how to address it to make it formal than informal. You know, I want you to feel what I'm saying, to understand, in case you ever got to be relying on a person on the phone. In case you got to pick up the phone and say, I need help right now. I know there was one person that said that they, and let me get this to you, that they utilize other means of survival through therapy. And that's one of the things I did when I left my husband. Me and my kids went to therapy way before we left. I left because I knew it was going to happen. Preparing them before and after. It don't matter the rapture. What matters is the understanding. So when they go through, in case they go through, they'll know how to survive. But everybody tried to make and break generational curses differently. Some is staying in a relationship, thinking it's different, thinking it's not warranted as what you went through, but yet it is.